Good evening and welcome. That's right, it's Formula 3 Wednesday tonight from Jerez in Spain. And as I'm sure you'll have come to expect, we're on Automobilista for a club event. We've got a good grid tonight. Qualifying has already started. We have 25 sign-ups. At the moment there are 22 people on the server, but we might get the last 2 or 3 people who are missing signing up during the qualifying period. It is a 15-minute quali. Again, that's pretty typical for the F3 events, followed by a 45-minute race. That means they're going to have to pit stop. We should mix up the action when that starts to happen. Anyway, enough of my talking. Let's roll the intro video and go and say hello to the guys on TeamSpeak. Hello drivers, can you hear me?
Yes.
Great stuff. How is qualifying going? You are about 3 or 4 minutes into it. I know you're concentrating hard, but is it a good car track combo? It certainly looks it.
Yeah, I love it.
So as I said on the intro, viewers, tonight we are from Jerez in Spain. I haven't actually driven this circuit myself, but I did overhear a few brief parts of the conversation the drivers are having earlier, and they seem to be enjoying the combination. The first few lap times are starting to be set. We've got Johan Haas in pole position at the moment with a 137.7. Johan is, well, he's just started the another hot lap, so we'll stick with Johan. He's headed around this sweeping left-hander. End of the sector, coming up first sector split here. It's in red, so very slightly slower, but we're only talking 400ths. Just feathering the throttle around that very, very fast right-hander, almost on to the runoff area. Braking hard now down to one of the tightest corners on the circuit. Another sweeping left-hander, lifting and feathering the power ever so slightly. Craig Patterson has snuck ahead of Johan. He has pole position at the moment. Craig just put in his fastest lap. Johan just coming on to, or approaching the back of Manos Papangelou. Well, I don't think that's going to... Oh, Manos pulling over there. A very gentlemanly move there from Manos. He may have been on an out lap. Thank you, Manos. And Johan is into the pits, so he's not happy with that lap. We saw the split times; they weren't great there, appearing in red in the bottom left-hand corner, which means that it wasn't an improvement on his own personal best. Guys, the audio levels, are you able to hear me over the cars? Okay, let me know in the TeamSpeak chat if you can hear me over the engines. Not you drivers, the viewers I was asking, but I'm glad that you can hear me as well. We won't want you to miss out on my random musings.
Oh, I can't hear you over the voices in my head.
Well, that's always good to know, Steve. It's always good to know. How's everybody this evening? We're all looking forward to this race. Obviously.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Excellent, thank you. Thank you. You had to think about that one quite a bit, obviously.
Concentration.
Indeed. Yeah, we shouldn't try and disturb the drivers. They are concentrating hard. It is a tricky circuit. You can see from the track map in the bottom right corner that there are a large number of corners. It is not a simple circuit. Fast corners mixed with slow corners, and obviously the chicane's thrown in there as well. Andy on the chat is saying we can hear my smooth tones. Thank you very much, Andy. 21 million views as we watch Craig Patterson. He's coming up to, I believe it's called the Senna chicane. And this isn't a hot lap for him, I don't believe. Okay, we're going to catch Craig. He's only got one more corner to do. probably equal tightest corner, this left-hander that Craig is approaching, and then he's on to that start-finish straight. He's got clear track ahead of him, so we're going to stick with Craig. Let's go for the full-on driver's viewpoint there. See that speedo ticking up, that's in miles an hour, 135, 136 just as he hits the brakes into the right-hander. Craig in pole position, but he succumbs to the pressure on first corner. Never mind, Craig still got another 8 minutes to put in an improved lap time. If we take a quick look at the standings there then, Craig in pole at the moment, 137.6, Johan Haas, 137.7 for him. Very close up at the top of the board here, Dennis Lind, 137.9. Christopher Vilstedt also 137.9 for him. Then we're into the 138s with Manos, Matt Legale, Dan O'Neill, Olivier Lewis, Johnny Stathros, Alexei Spirichev, Bart Zverink, all within a second of each other. And then the 39s come along, another gaggle of drivers, Theo van der Brink, Tuomas Lankinen. Oh yes, it's Tuomas, you know I like Tuomas. Paul Legale, Jean-Pierre Père, Steve Kenwood. Yes, we have arranged a room, gentlemen, we have got a room for later. Yes, Jean-Pierre Père, Steve Kenwood, Gasper Bank, all in the 39s. So let's go and pick on another driver and follow them around the circuit. Let's see who's coming up to that start-finish line. Third place, that is Dennis Lind, I think. Let's take a quick look at Dennis. Yes, so he's coming down into that turn one, braking hard, touching the curbs on the inside. Very nice apex there, and not using any more than the ideal amount of rumble strip on the outside as well. Very clean and smooth for Dennis. His best time at the moment is 137.904. Split sector coming up now. Is it in green or red? It's in purple, which is the best you could hope for. Purple means it is the fastest sector split that anybody has set. 0.129, just over a tenth quicker than anybody else in the first sector for Dennis Lind. Will we see him set his best lap? Let's hope so. A late apex there, but that looked like a good line through the corner. Very, very smooth on the power. No wiggling of the back of the car as he gets it out of that corner. Second sector split, we should be approaching quite soon. How's he doing? It's still in purple, and he's increased it ever so slightly, just over 2/10. This will put Dennis into pole position if he can keep control, running ever so slightly wide there. A very small error, I don't think that's going to impact it. Again, taking a bit of extra curb through that chicane, but all within the track limits. One more corner to go. Can he nail this lap and put himself at the front of the grid? Let's hope so. The line's approaching. 34, 35, 36. Oh, he's bailed out of that lap. Oh, that's Dennis bailed just before he crossed the line. He clearly wasn't happy with that last sector. Felt it wasn't going to improve, which is a shame because we were watching him as he did it. Let's see who else is near that start-finish line. Craig Patterson is coming towards halfway through the third sector. Meanwhile, Johan Haas is approaching the last corner, which is who we're riding with. Let's go to the external camera now. The orange and blue car, number 31 of Johan. I don't remember seeing Johan for an F3 event before, so I may be wrong, but if it is a new driver, then that is a very respectable second place for Johan. Very nice indeed. Goes round turn one, that looked very tidy. See, Johan is the number 2 circle on the car, coming up to the sector split now. Let's see what it is. Purple would be ideal. It is purple, my word. 2.5 tenths faster than anybody else in the first sector. That is really nice indeed. Johan could put himself on the front of the grid. He's already on the front row, but he wants that pole position. Heavy braking now into this right-hander. The apex looked very good. And nicely over the curb there. The car not weaving too much under power. Sweeping left-hander, and another one coming up now, feathering the throttle as he turns in. Split time coming up any moment. Let's see, is it still purple? It is, and it's improved even more. 3.5 tenths now, 0.358 quicker than anybody else as he finishes that second sector. Now, Dennis Lind, we were watching, and he was doing the same at the end of his second sector, but decided to bail after the last corner. Clearly, he wasn't happy, but will Johan manage to keep it all together as he approaches that last corner now into the braking zone? Does he keep it tidy? That apex looks really nice. Can he get on the power without destroying a lap? Oh, perfect on the curbs. I would think that Johan is going to go into the lead or the front of the grid. Yes, he does. Congratulations, Johan. 37.311 for him. A really nice lap to see, Johan. I'm not sure if you're on TeamSpeak, but if you are, congratulations, sir. Very nice lap. Let's have a quick look through those chat messages whilst we try and find another driver to follow around. Who's out there? Let's see. We've got Williams F1 team fan. Simon is here. Thank you, Simon, for joining us again. A regular viewer is our Simon. There was another name I saw. Oh, of course, it's Joe Wright. Joseph Wright is with us, my fellow streamer and commentator. He's on the chat as well. A few other names as well. Thank you very much, guys, for watching.
Just the usual, if you're on an out lap, can you please not get in the way of people on a hot lap?
Very sound advice there from Steve Kenwood. There's a busy circuit out there, so just be aware, guys, on your rear view mirrors. This is only a 15-minute qualifying, and we've only got 2 minutes left, of course. So frustrating if a hot lap is ruined, but I guess to some extent that's kind of going to happen. But yeah, if you're on an out lap, try and get out of the way for other people if you can. Lind kicking that back end out. Is he going to let this lap run through? I think he is. It's an improvement for him, but not an improvement in position. I don't think he's moved up at all.
He went up.
Yeah, he did.
But
One position was it ahead of Matt?
Come on.
So Dennis Lind, slight improvement. Thank you, guys. I know I can rely on you to help me out. I'm getting, senility is creeping in. My senior age. I've hit the fourth decade now, you see.
No flags, guys, please. You deserve a lot.
So we've only got 1 minute left on the clock, so anybody who's not out on a lap already is not going to get to turn another one. Just trying to see who's coming up to that line. Craig Patterson, he's second. He's on the front row of the grid, but he's in second place. He will get to do one more lap. Johan Hath, he's in pole position. He's going to get to do one more. Tuomas Lankinen, we haven't had Tuomas now. He is. Let's see if he can respond to pressure. He's coming up to that last corner. He's going slow. He's clearly trying to build up a nice gap ahead of him. He's got Johan Hath ahead of him. I'm sure Johan will be going for a flying lap as well. Looks like Tuomas, we're going for one now. Look at that space up ahead. Plenty of room. This 150 something for this lap, but as I say, he is giving himself space for a flyer. Let's stick with Tuomas as he breaks into turn one. Oh, got the apex, but run a little bit wide, a little bit too much speed on entry, but can he rescue it? A single tenth would pick him up another position ahead of Manas Papangelou. Tuomas currently in 8th. Flat out to that jink left, another very fast left-hander here. Really beautiful circuit. This is a mod, a free download by Patrick Geranthon. Not sure if I pronounced his surname correctly, but a great modder for the community. Tuomas is in the green. He is faster than his personal best in the first sector, and only 3/10 down over the quickest time. So very respectable there from Tuomas. Gets that turn in right, clips the apex, very tidy. Power looks smooth on exit. Very fast left-hander, flat out for Tuomas. Another one lifting and feathering the throttle, gets the turn in, doesn't drift out too wide, really tidy. We're not getting the split times, but I think that's because, we've just got one now. It's in green again, 0.52 slower than the fastest driver, but it's in green. That's the important thing. That means he is improving on his own best lap time. Can he nail the chicane? That looks good. A little bit ragged on the left-hand part of that chicane as somebody breaks a glass by the sound of things. One more corner to go.
Did you hear that?
Yes, we heard that.
Everyone knows it.
Everybody knows I'm an alcoholic now.
Indeed. dropping your alcohol, Theo. Tuomas' lap time, does he improve? Well, he does improve, but he doesn't improve position, unfortunately. He's shaved about 5 hundredths off Manos's time, but not enough to get him past. Nice lap, Thomas,
Cheers.
nonetheless. Thank you, sir.
Cracker, mate.
So let's go through those final standings as we wait for the serve to roll over. We've got Johan Hart in pole position, 0.3 quicker than Craig Patterson.
How much fuel need to fuel to finish the race?
Fuel, guys, any advice on fuel?
A full tank will
Take
be
enough?
2 minutes.
About maybe
With
50 litres, I think, is it?
50 litres would be more than enough. Full tank is 40 litres, so I'll only do 42 minutes.
And if you pit, you can also better change the tires because it's always about 8-9 seconds.
How much in total in fuel?
40, 44.
50.
50 will be more than enough.
I think I'll go for 55. You know,
How
I have
much
a
are you
car
gonna
stable
have
in the corners.
on your car, Craig?
I'm taking 46.
I was thinking about doing a 2-stopper. That's not gonna work bad.
No, you can do a 2-stop.
Is
I mean, for
Gasper
you, I guess,
Grebek?
but I mean, the tire with me is gonna be so bad, so I have to do one. But now, maybe not. Oh god.
Is Gasper Grebek inside?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, man. Why you rejoin the track after you go out? You destroyed my race, my lap.
What? I didn't understand.
Yeah, 1.5 minutes before the end, you went off and then you rejoined, and I hit you in the back.
Yeah, man, I'm really sorry for that.
Yeah, but the other time when you go out and you see a car behind, just stay out and wait. It's better. But anyways,
No worries, mistakes happen. Club race, it's all about the fun.
Yeah,
So
I
let's keep it chirpy. Quickly go through the standings. Then I was just letting you guys talk through the fuel strategy. By the sound of things, 50 litres is the recommendation. What's the full tank? 46? Did you say, Craig? Is a full tank? 40 is a full tank, so 50 litres in total needed. So front of the grid, pole position, Johan Hart. Craig joins him on the front row. Craig Patterson in second place. Dennis Lind in third. Christopher Vilstedt in fourth. Matt Legale the second of the Guernsey crew. Obviously Craig Patterson being from Guernsey. So Matt Legale in fifth place. Alexei Spirichev in sixth. Manos Papangelou in seventh there. Tuomas Lankinen, he makes eighth place. Dan O'Neill is ninth. Olivier Lewis in 10th. Olivier filling up the last of those top 10 positions. Johnny Stathiros in 11th, Bart Zoink in 12th. Bart is a driver to keep an eye on, I think, tonight. Often see him qualifying higher up the grid than 12th position. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on Bart as the race progresses. Paul Legale there in 13th. Theo van der Brink in 14th. Again, Theo, I think, might be a driver to watch there. Just out of the top half of the grid, but I'd expect him to hopefully move up a few positions as the race goes through. Jean-Pierre Père there, once again, the same for Jean-Pierre, really. In 15th, Steve Kenwood. In 16th, Gasper. In 17th, Jesus Montesinos. In 18th, Steve Legale. In 19th. 20th is Daniel Matica. We have two Jesuses with us tonight. Jesus Sanchez is with us in 21st place, and Sven Arne Andersen is at the back of the grid in 22nd. Only 1 minute left of warm-up, guys. Looking forward to it? Are you excited?
I'm so excited, a little bit of wee came out.
I did it! That's again, it's like me, Steve, that's an age thing.
Alright.
Reassuring.
Theo, do you now not feel alone as well, Theo? You feel comforted by that, do you? Oh yes, this is the senior racing club. Only over 40s allowed.
Good evening, everybody.
That's it. Senior gentleman race club. That's what we run here at Automobilista.
It's an absolute joy.
Is it warm enough for you both? Do you want a blanket?
Yeah, that's it. Took us in.
Yeah,
Cup of cocoa.
Yeah, I do.
Well, it's one of those top ones.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Can you put me in my teeth, please?
Comment a comment from Williams F1 fan Simon on the chat. He says a lot of new drivers coming in, and yes, I'd agree. There's a good few names in there that I don't recognise tonight. So it's a pleasure having. If you're on TeamSpeak, you new drivers, then welcome and thank you very much for joining us with the F3 tonight. And cool, he says, cool, 3 seconds off Craig's time. I'm not sure what Simon means by that. Maybe he means that he is 3 seconds off Craig's time when he was trying to turn a lap himself. I'm not sure. Anyway, warm-up's just about over. Good luck.
Say hi, Father.
Yes, you should. You should.
Hi, Greg's dad.
Yeah,
See you
everybody,
next
can we all say hi to Craig's dad, please? Hi, Craig's dad.
Hello, Greg.
Thank you.
See you next Wednesday.
Yeah, you want
I
some
can't
money,
make it, actually.
Simon?
So you got 45
good luck,
seconds, guys. Yeah, don't get carried away with the silliness. 40 seconds now to get out there on the grid. We have to wait for that clock to count down to 0 before we can go out there. Oh, Alistair Long asked if there's any chance of joining. I'm afraid not, Alistair. The server has rolled over to race and it does not allow any further people to join. Please do look for the next week's event, or there's one on Friday as well, Alistair. So it'll be a fun event. Formula Trucks, I think, on Friday, if I recall correctly. Just 10 seconds and then we can get out there. There will be a formation lap. Good luck, everybody. Good luck.
Thank you, yeah.
Good luck.
Don't do a suitor and crash out on the formation lap now. There we go, the car's setting off, smoking those tyres, getting some heat as they leave that start-finish line. This track, this mod really is a beautiful mod, and it's well up with the riser standards. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm accurate in this or not, but I've got a hunch or a feeling that maybe Patrick does a little bit of work for riser as well. He does, that's what I thought. So yeah, that would explain.
Mozo also has a hunch.
Indeed, he does. You just keep putting me off on my stride, Steve. That's great. Oh yeah, you know, the viewers will be writing complaint letters, and you won't be allowed to race next week or something like that. I don't.
Please, write in.
Yeah, your wife will be happy.
Then make it. No,
Oh,
she
no.
won't.
No, she won't.
I don't know, I take over the telly.
So, Jan Harth, Patrick coming through there. Matt Legale in the white, blue and yellow highlights. Thomas Lankin and Dan O'Neill in the black and red. Johnny Stathros in the Ferrari look-alike car. Paul Legale coming through there. Theo, he always goes for the orange car, the orange and white Theo. It's a good choice. I always go for the orange one, Theo. That's why you're such a good driver.
Orange, I'm Dutch.
Of course, the obvious connection there. The nationality, the Dutch colours. So we're just at the end of the
13th.
just at the end of the second sector now, coming up to the chicane. Here we go. Once again, you can see the cars coming through. We've got the name tags on, of course, to help you guys identify. I mean, I say it's the viewer's benefit, but obviously it might help me know who's driving as well.
Even that doesn't help you that much.
No, but I struggle with reading, you know. My eyesight's not so good at my senior age. Talking of reading and eyesight, I've got a medical tomorrow. I have to have a medical every so often, and I've got one tomorrow, so maybe they won't let me drive anymore afterwards. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Oh, when RaceDepartment with problems.
So they're just forming up the last few cars there. We can see in the distance. Yes, good luck, everybody.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
Goose.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck.
Good luck. One more car to form up, just having to weave round, lost position on the formation lap. There we go. That's it.
Here we go.
Good luck, guys.
Let's do this.
One light,
Like all.
2 light, 3, 4, 5. There we go. It's green. Everybody seems to be on the move, no stallers, that's good to see. Johan Harth getting a good start, he keeps hold of first position. Dennis Lint putting pressure on Craig into first corner. Dennis Lint has picked up a position, up to second place for Dennis. Craig Patterson, he's still holding on to third as it stands at the moment.
Whoa.
Oh man.
Hopefully, it sounds like there might have been some contact further down the grid. A few drivers seem to
Somebody
be
came
stationary.
in like
Yeah, someone just hit
rocket.
me back.
Yeah.
Sounds like somebody missed their braking spot. Nonetheless, all the drivers seem to be on the move. Just one or two at the back there, picking their feet up and trying to catch up. So Johan Haas is leading in the orange and blue. Dennis Lind just behind, having picked up a place off the start line and into turn 1. Craig Patterson in 3rd place. Matt Galley just behind those two similar colours cars. That's Craig Patterson. Let's switch there to Craig's rear wing. Looking back at Matt Galley with Manos in the bright blue, very distinctive coloured car for Manos Papangelou, currently in 5th place. Now, there have been some recent adjustments to this car made by Riser, the developer of Automobilista. Apparently, the loss of downforce when following another car closely should have been reduced. In other words, the drivers should be able to follow more closely. But yes, we did hear last week. Last week the change was active, and several people said that they didn't feel that was the case. In fact, it might have been the opposite. Nonetheless, Matt Legally has got into the slipstream with Craig Patterson down that start finish straight. I don't think he's close enough to put a move in. Little jig to the inside there to let Craig know, but I think Craig will feel secure going to turn 1. We're going to move back ever so slightly, looking at Manos Papangelou back from his rear wing, rather back at Johnny Stathros, Thomas Lankinen there as well. This is a battle for 5th place. Johnny tried to put a move on there, and that played a little bit into Tuamas's hands. Tuamas keeping the ideal line through the corner, and he's able to close up a little bit, but Tuamas has to be careful. We're now riding from the back of Johnny's car, because Tuamas has Dan O'Neill only a 10th or 2 behind, and Dan's looking to the inside. Very late braking from Dan. Can he keep it in check? That was a very nice overtake by Dan O'Neill. Incredibly late braking. I didn't think you were going to keep hold of that, Dan, but nonetheless, a very nice overtake. Dan O'Neill, we just seen there, go past Thomas Lankinen and up into 7th place. There's 2 groups of drivers now opened up. We've got 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, and then there's about a 3-second gap back to this group that we're kind of watching at the moment. That's Manos, who we can't quite see. Johnny, who we're riding with at the moment, looking back at Dan O'Neill, Thomas Lankinen, Bart Zverink, Olivier Lewis and Paul Legale. Those 4 or 5 drivers all within 2 seconds of each other. Thomas looks like he's got a great exit from that corner, so we're going to switch to Dan O'Neill's rear wing, who's Thomas going to try and take that position back. Despite the slipstream, he doesn't really seem to be gaining on the back of Dan O'Neill, but Dan runs wide. A little, was that contact, ever so slight contact, didn't seem to upset either of the 2 cars though. Thomas still on the inside. This is the 3rd corner now they've been battling with. Dan O'Neill, I think, is going to keep hold of the position, because we've got another left-hander which is to Dan's advantage, and yes, Dan keeps on the position, but just behind, I said Bart was one to watch out for. Bart in the bright orange car there. He was, I think, back in 12th place on the grid, or thereabouts, and he is up into 9th place. So yeah, I said Bart would be one to watch, but this really is quite a close battle. What with Dan O'Neill, Tom Slank and Bart Zank, Olivier Lewis having a cheeky look on the inside there in that braking zone. A big slide from Dan O'Neill, keeps it under control, but that's a gift to Tom Slankinen, who takes that position back and is once again in 7th place. Paul Legale having a look on the inside of Olivier Lewis. So now at the back of that group, riding with Paul Legale, driver's eye viewpoint. Olivier Lewis, very tight line, looking a little bit up the inside of Bart Zarek. And Paul Legale jinking to the inside again, getting very close at the rear of Olivier Lewis, but manages to get that car stopped just in time. Meanwhile, looking at the leaders, Johan Haas is still holding on to 1st place. Craig Patterson has taken 2nd place back off Dennis Lind. Dennis has dropped down to 4th, so some sort of action happened up the front there.
He spun.
Thank you very much, Craig. Dennis Lind, a spin from Dennis Lind, must have regained control very quickly indeed. He only lost 2 places in the early stages of the race. You expect to lose quite a few if you have a off-track moment. But Dennis regaining control quickly, loses 2 places and will be looking to fight his way back up. I'm going to switch to Craig Patterson then, who I think has got Matt Legale close behind, close-ish. Oh, Matt running ever so slightly wide, struggling to get that car back on track. You can see the dirt pick up on his tyres there. So let's move to the leader, try and give you an idea of the spacings now. We'll go to a fixed camera. So here comes Johan Hoff past the camera out in the lead, and there's that gap back to Craig Patterson, Matt Legally close behind, Dennis Lind and Manos Papangelou, followed by Johnny Stathios, Thomas Lankin, Dan O'Neill, Bart Verick, Olivier Lewis, Paul Legale and Theo van den Brink also coming through. That's kind of like the lead groups, as it were, all relatively close to each other. Steve Kenwood closing up on Christopher Vilstedt there. Might be looking for an overtake. Steve Legale coming through. He's got Jesus Sanchez behind. Jean-Pierre Père. Jean-Pierre must have had something happen to Jean-Pierre back in 19th place. Have to keep an eye on Jean-Pierre, see if he can fight his way back through the grid.
Oh, mate.
Gutted.
Oh, something happened to Matt Legale. Matt, what happened, sir?
Yeah, spun.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. You're back, Matt Legale back in 12th place. Just confirming over the radio there. He's managed to tuck himself in behind Theo van der Brink and pulls out for that slipstream overtake. On the inside into turn 1. Side by side, Matt Legale makes that move stick. So Matt, after a spin, is back up into 11th place, looking to get into that top 10 as quick as he can. So Dennis Linden, we heard from Craig Patterson, one of our drivers out there tonight. Craig in second place. We heard that Dennis spun. Dennis was in second place in the early lap or two, but he spun and was down to 4th place. Unfortunately, Matt himself, Matt Legale, has just had a spin, meaning that Dennis Lind has gained one more place. But that gap up to Craig Patterson now is not insignificant. It's 3 seconds between Dennis and Craig. So Dennis has got a fair bit of work now to catch up on Craig. And Manos Papangelou there is only 1.5 seconds behind, so Manos will be hoping to try and put a little bit of pressure on Dennis. Let's switch back to Bart Zoink. He's in 8th place, still having a look at Olivier Lewis. Paul Legale behind. I briefly saw in the mirrors of Bart's car taking a very rough line over that chicane. Yes, you did. You definitely got airborne. Paul. Well controlled, sir. Well controlled. These cars were designed to fly, I'm sure. That's why. That's why they've got wings. They're meant to fly, aren't they?
Shit. Sorry, Dan.
Oh, Christian Haber's joined us on the stream. Thank you, Christian. He says, RD Ubalas. Maybe that's our new slogan. Not sure. So 5th place, Johnny Stathios. This is one of the closest pair of cars at the moment. Johnny Stathios in 5th, Thomas Lankinen in 6th place. Slightly further back down the grid, we've got 7th and 8th. That is Olivier Lewis and Bart Zoink, but we're riding from the rear wing of Johnny, looking at Thomas. Now, you know, guys, that Thomas is one of my favourite drivers, and a big part of that is I believe that Thomas often goes for setups quite different from the majority of drivers. Maybe this is a gut feeling, maybe I'm completely wrong, I don't know, but often we see Thomas get into a slipstream and not really pull back any of the gap on the driver ahead, usually meaning he's running a much higher downforce setup. Manos Papangelou there, just been overtaken, a mistake there from Manos. He's lost 2 places, I think. Johnny Stathios and Thomas Lankinen getting through. Thomas Lankinen struggling for control as Johnny made, I think, a little mistake, and Thomas closed right up on the back and was doing his best to avoid any contact, which he did manage to do so. But this battle now for 4th place is really heating up. There are 3 drivers within 1.5 seconds, 4 within 2. Johnny Stathios still holding on to 4th place. You see the lap splits there, so Johnny Stathios losing out to Thomas on lap 4 and lap 5, but on lap 6 he opened up the gap ever so slightly. Viewers, if you take a look at the track map in the bottom right hand corner, then it's not always plotting the car positions all the time, but you can see 1st and 2nd and 3rd are fairly spread out. Then we have this group of drivers that are watching 4th, 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th are trying to get in on that action as well. We're going to stick with this group of cars as well. I'm also keeping an eye on 13th and 14th. That's Alexei Spirichev and Matt Legale. They're battling away further down the field. Primus Lankin has just had to give up 5th place to Manos. Manos had an off-track moment and he's trying to claw his way back through the field. But I'm going to ride now from the rear wing of Olivier Lewis. Bart Zoek is still there, still making sure Olivier knows that he's there behind, keeps jinking out on the corners to try and look for a way past. A very, very tight line there from Bart Zoek, carrying a lot of momentum through the corner. Oh, a little bit of contact late on the brakes. Fortunately, neither car seems to have been too unsettled by that. Bart Zoek backing off ever so slightly, trying to regain his composure after that very slight contact. We're going to go once again back to the leader. We're going to fix that camera and let the cars drive by and try and give you an idea. So this is the chicane. Johan Haas coming through. Craig Patterson and Dennis Lynn. So that's first, second and third. They're all about evenly spaced between 3 and 4 seconds apart. Then we have another 5 or 6 seconds before we have Johnny Stathos, Manos, Papangelo, Thomas Lankin, Olivier Lewis, Bart Zoek, Paul Legale. That group of drivers is where the fun is at the moment. Theo van der Brink having a little race on his own at the moment. He's steady away in 10th place, followed by Steve Kenwood and Christopher Vilstedt. Steve Kenwood was trying to find a way past Christopher a few laps ago, and clearly he's managed to do that. Steve is now up to 11th place. Okay, thank you, Steve. So Christopher Vilstedt had a brief off-track moment, clearly didn't do him too much harm other than the loss of 1 position to Steve Kenwood. So we're now riding from the back of Steve Kenwood's car, looking back at Christopher. 3/10 is the gap. Alexei Spirichev is the next driver back in 13th place. Alexei looking to make this a 3-way battle, and Matt Legale, who's right up with the leaders there, he's fighting hard now, pushing as hard as he can to get those gaps closed up and then join in some of these battles. This could turn into a 4-way battle over 11th place.
Oh, why? It's
Got a question on the stream. We'll be asking about what happened to the giveaway for Le Mans, who won it. I don't know, I'm afraid, Bucky. The best place to check would be on the forums. I'm not sure if it's been announced or decided or what. I don't know the details, I'm afraid. But if you post a question on the forum, I'm sure one of the admins involved in that event will be able to update you. So let's move back once again to that battle over 4th place. Johnny Stathos is still keeping it together. He is holding on to 4th at the moment. Just 4 tenths behind is Manos Papangelo. We're into the 30th minutes remaining of this race. We're just about 15 minutes gone, or approaching 15 minutes gone. Manos has managed to close that gap on Johnny Stathos. A little wiggle from Johnny. See how close that racing is now. Around a tenth, or almost less than a tenth, separating those two drivers. Manos will certainly be picking up the slipstream, but also the loss of grip as a result of that disturbed and dirty air coming off the rear wing of Johnny Stathos. Bocky, just slight further advice related to the Le Mans giveaway, if you're still watching, Bocky. There are threads related specifically or forum areas specifically to that Le Mans race, so that would be the best area to pose your question, sir. And if you can see who the admin of the event is, don't be afraid to send them a direct message on Race Department either. So we'll switch slightly further back, just a position or two, to Bart Zoek and Olivier Lewis. Bart Zoek managing to get his way past Olivier Lewis after quite a few laps battling with him. We can see those split times there. So they've disappeared now, but we can see Bart picking up a little bit of time. The midway point is around the 22-minute mark of this race. We're in the 29th minute at the moment. The leaders, or the first three drivers, settled down into a nice rhythm. That's first place Johan Hart. Dennis Lind up to second. Something must have happened to Craig
I spun.
Patterson. Thank you, Craig, for the info. Is that very recently, I think? Oh, there's a spin of Bart Zerink has spun. Bart spun is doing his best to rejoin as carefully as they can. That's a really, really awkward place for Bart Zerink to end up. He's on the inside corner on the apex there. He's done the right thing. He's held off rejoining till it was safe to do so, which is exactly what he should be doing, of course. Resist that temptation just to get that car spun back round to the right direction. Well done, Bart, for rejoining so safely. That's a credit to you, sir. It's a shame because you were fighting your way through that grid, reaching those upper groups of drivers. Hopefully you can do that again shortly.
I'm crying a little bit.
As far as I can tell, you still got all your wings and stuff, Bart, so hopefully that car's handling okay. So Bart was getting involved in that battle for fourth place, but he's made a mistake and he's lost out significantly just due to the misfortune of where his car ended up spinning to the inside of one of the tighter corners, sat on that apex there. Johnny Stathos still feeling that pressure from Manos. A Ferrari, a lookalike car of Johnny Stathos with the distinctive blue and black of Manos just behind. 8/10 separating those two drivers at the moment. We're going to switch.
Follow the third sector.
Going to switch to 10th place, which is 10th. Yes, 10th and 11th. I'll get my numbers there at the end. 10th is Alexei Zbuchev. 11th is Matt Legale. They're in the same team-coloured cars. Matt Legale looking to try and find a way past Alexei. Guys, don't be shy when you are entering into the pits. Call it out. It's usually some good action as people start to do their pit stops, so please do let me know if you're heading into the pits. Matt Legale locking up under brakes there, manages to keep the car on the black stuff, but only just. The marbles almost taking care of him. I'm hoping his tyres aren't too flat spotted. Are they okay, Matt?
Yeah, they're good.
They're good. So we're going to move to Dennis Lind and Craig Patterson. So Craig told us that he'd had a spin. Well, now it would be probably 3 or 4 laps ago, if not more, and that had allowed Dennis Lind back up into second place. The gap is just 1.6 seconds, and we are getting quite close to the point where drivers will be thinking about pit stop strategies. It's quite a long circuit. I think it's over 4 kilometers. I probably got that completely wrong. I've got a feeling it's a long circuit. Let's see if I can quickly grab that info. Have a look. Yes, 4.4, I was correct. 4.4 kilometers, 2.7 miles is the length of the circuit. What a long one. The leaders, when they come out, are unlikely to be in clean track or clean space, as it were. They're probably going to end up being grouped up with one of the other drivers, so it's a tricky decision for them. As Dennis Lind steps the back of that car out and loses a 10th or 2 to Craig Patterson. Craig closing that gap now to pretty much bang on at 1 second. It's kind of attached to the side of Dennis' car. We can see that rear suspension working hard, coping with the curbs and the bumps. Craig hovering around that second mark. If he can close it another 10th or 2, he's going to start picking up on that slipstream of Dennis. Working through that chicane. Craig's got that gap down now to 7/10.
Oh, sorry, man.
That's not bad, mate. At the split times there, so Craig Patterson gaining on Dennis in the last 3 laps as far as I can tell. But Craig clearly got some pace left in those tyres despite us getting very close to the midway point.
40th place in English lap.
Somebody said they were pitting this lap, did they say?
Yeah, 14th.
14th, thank you, sir. Jean-Pierre Père coming into the pits, and I think if that was the right person, or was it somebody else? No, sorry, it was Christopher Vilstedt is in. Thank you, Christopher. Down to 16th at the moment to be coming out. Looks like I'm going to be on the move any moment. Looks like he'll be coming out in the region of Steve Legale, though his pit stop, Christopher's pit box, is right at the start there. It's a tricky one to get into, easy to miss unless you've done a practice stop. Christopher's going to get on the power just as Steve rather comes through. There he goes. So pretty much the first driver to pit is Christopher Vilstedt. He'll get a clean lap or two to get some heat into those tyres before the other drivers start to make their stops. There we've got the split times of Johan Hart. He's pulling out a 10th or 2 over Dennis Lind per lap, so Johan extending his lead. Meanwhile, Dennis Lind and Craig Patterson, the opposite is happening, and Craig is closing that gap onto the back of Dennis Lind. Another little slide, or drift should I say, a four-wheel drift for Dennis Lind as they exit onto the start-finish straight. 23 minutes on the clock now. Trying to see if there's any activity in the pits.
Yeah, I'm going.
Both. Oh, thank you very much.
Johnny's in as well.
Johnny Stafford. Okay, we'll go with Johnny. He's up on the stands at the moment, getting new tyres, filling that tank. Olivier Lewis is coming in. Olivier was battling with Johnny, was in that sort of ballpark. Johnny's back on the move. Olivier Lewis is out as well. Theo van der Brink. Thank you very much, guys. So Olivier Lewis joins, as does Johnny Stathiros. Steve Kenwood coming
Steve,
soon.
did I touch you?
No.
Okay, great.
Watch out, those cold tyres, Bart.
Yeah, the cold tyres are a bitch.
So we're riding now kind of offset from Dennis Lind's car, looking back at Craig Patterson. This is really going to be the interesting point when these two drivers pit. Will Craig go for a cunning strategy and try and make the overtake happen in the pits? If you can get past the driver due to pit strategy, then that saves you trying to find a way through on the track, which is never easy. Craig just launching there in the background, keeping that gap at around 8 to 9 tenths. Enough to pick up a little bit. So Craig Patterson, he's in the pits. We're going to stick with Craig then. As he comes down that pit lane onto the speed limiter, early pit box for him. The fourth pit box, overran it very slightly there I think, but his crew coping with it admirably. This looks very quick indeed. That was incredibly quick. I would like to know what Craig's strategy was. He usually takes all 4 tyres, but that looked really quick indeed.
I did.
I think maybe other people go out with quite as much fuel in the first stint, Craig, so I think that's where you save your time with your cunning strategies. Anyway, he rejoins just ahead of Paul Legale there. Paul yet to pit, I think. Same for Tuomas Lankinen. So these are the same colour cars. Craig on cold tyres, Paul on worn tyres. Just that camera, try and get both drivers in the shot there. Keeping an eye on Johan Hart, the leader. I'd expect to see him pit this lap. Mind you, he has got clear track ahead of him. If he wants to stay out another corner or two, then that would be to Johan's advantage, I think. There is activity from Johan's team. He makes his way through that pit lane. Johnny Stathiros, I think, was just there in the background, I think. Yes, a late turn in from Johan Hart. Comes down the pit lane. Let's see if his stop is as quick as Craig's. His team are going to have to work very, very quickly to make that as quick. Piles up on the jacks. Still not down, it's down. This is a longer stop. I think Craig's going to take that position. He's on the move. He's got to go all the way down that pit straight. 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 7 seconds. I thought you were closer, Craig. Where are you, sir? Oh no, so that was the gap was much bigger. It wasn't. It was Craig and Dennis Lind who were battling. I think that was my mistake. It was my mistake. Johan, who had a gap of about 8 seconds over second place Dennis, and Craig Patterson was in third. So Dennis Lind is now leading, but that is the crucial stop that we're waiting for. Dennis Lind, when he comes in, unless he can do sterling work in the pit like Craig Patterson did, then I would think we'll see Craig into second place. At the moment, that stop for Craig really has helped him. The gap is 4.2 seconds, whereas it was around the 8 to 9 second mark. So Craig picking up 4 seconds in the pit strategy.
Okay. Last 3's. But I'm back in now.
You're working again, Steve?
Yes.
Okay. Fingers crossed for you, sir. We'll switch to the leader then, Dennis Lind, to see if he's coming in. He's got Jesus Sanchez rather ahead of him. 16th and 17th, the two Jesuses there as Jesus Sanchez pulls over very kindly to allow Dennis Lind through. He will have been getting the blue flag. Does Dennis come in the pits? No, I don't think he does. I think that was the pit entry there. Yes, it was. But Dennis stays out for one more lap. I really can't think that his tyres will be holding up that well now with just 18 minutes left. That's a good 4 minutes past the halfway point. If anything, I think the traffic that Dennis is having to negotiate past, as well as Craig, let's try and locate Craig on the track map. There he is, he's in clean space. Look, just going down that start finish straight, the number 3 circle on the track map. Both him and Johan Haas have clean track ahead of them to put together good fast laps, and we can see those fast laps coming in from Craig Patterson. A 38 dead pretty much, 1:38.052 from Craig Patterson, fastest lap on those fresh tyres. I would be surprised if we don't see Dennis Lind coming in very, very soon. Let's switch to Craig Patterson then, keep an eye on where Dennis Lind is on track. The gap is now down to 3.5 seconds between Craig and Johan as we take the driver's eye viewpoint. There's a car rejoining the track. Jesus Sanchez though keeps out of Craig's way. Manos has left for some reason, not sure if that's technical difficulties or the race just not going his way. Manos was battling higher up the field. I think he was down in the high teens when he's DNF'd. Is Dennis Lind in the pits? Trying to see. He is. Dennis Lind's in the pits. This is crucial then. So he's his car's up on the ramps. Johan Haas is going to come through, but the crucial one was where he comes out in relation to Craig Patterson. He's still not moving, and Craig Patterson is coming through now. Definitely a much better stop for Craig Patterson. Dennis Lind is on the move, but 4 seconds. Now 5 seconds is the gap. It'll be 6 to 7 seconds before Dennis is able to get that power down. There he goes. So 9 seconds. Dennis Lind was in second place when Craig made that one of the first stops from the leading drivers. It was a great stop. You could see how quick Craig's team got to work on his car. We could tell it was a quick stop, and Dennis Lind stayed out a lot longer, but it hasn't worked out for him. He's got 11 seconds to make up. That is a huge ask with just 15 minutes left on the clock. Meanwhile, Craig is pushing very, very hard to try and catch up on Johan Haas. 3 seconds or thereabouts is where the gap is at the moment between first place Johan and Craig Patterson in second. Trying to see where the other close action is. Paul Legali and Alexei Spirichev, they seem to be having some good fun further down the grid. Alexei in 8th, Paul Legali, who we're now riding with, in 7th place.
That's it from me, guys. See you next week.
No problem, Mano. Thank you for racing tonight. Cheers, Mano.
Yeah, I like you. Bye.
That gap now down to 7/10. Paul having a good, consistent race as far as I can tell. I've not seen any particular off-track moments, and that's really what's gained him his 7th place, I think, at the moment, as other drivers have disappeared onto the green stuff.
Cheers, man. Cheers.
No worries.
Guernsey team orders coming into play there. Steve Legale Lex past Craig Patterson and probably gifted him the slipstream down the start finish straight as well.
Those Jersey boys plays dirty.
Don't mention Jersey. Ed Kenwood.
Folks, see the split times there. Paul Legale and Alexei Spirichev. Looks like Paul is losing out maybe a little bit on lap time, but he's keeping it consistent still, and Alexei's got to find a way past. Alexei locking up his tyres there in that braking zone, getting a wiggle on the exit as well. The smooth consistency of Paul Legale will hopefully keep hold of 7th place for him. Meanwhile, Dan O'Neill has DNF'd. It's a shame to see.
Yeah, that's taking a while ago.
Leader spun.
Leader spun, thank you, Craig Patterson. So the leader, Johan Haas, has spun. And he seems to be stuck in the gravel trap. Can he get his car moving? He's just about got it moving again. He is struggling with that gravel trap. It's a real shame because that was looking like a great battle. I'm going to see what...
Unfortunately, you have to struggle for a very long time for me to get past them.
I think I was in the gravel for like 40 seconds.
Oh, is the gravel on this track deadly basically in these cars?
Yes.
I did not know that. That is such a shame because that I'd much rather see a battle for position rather than an unfortunate mistake there for Johan. That really has cost Johan dearly, which is such a shame to see you put together such a great race. But he's on the move now. He's doing. We have to be careful to rejoin. Oh, I thought he was on the move. Go on, Johan, you can do it. There's another spinner in front of him. Not Johan's fault at all, but another driver spun. Jean-Pierre doing a great job of weaving his way through the the car making his way back onto the grid, which was Johan, and the other driver didn't see who it was, but Johan probably having a little bit of a heart-stopping moment there, but he makes it through. So Craig Patterson, he's out in the lead. His father will be proud. Simon watching on the stream. Your son's winning, Simon. Craig. Oh, don't get too excited and crash now, Craig. We don't want to see that.
I did just get excited.
Yes, I know. I saw that. So, thank you. Stay calm, sir. There's 12 minutes left on the clock, and as I say, it is a shame that the battle for first place that was shaping up between Johan and Craig has ended with Johan spending quite some time trying to get out of that gravel trap. Big shame for Johan. So looking down on that track map and those split times, I'm trying to see where that battle is. I think it's still between Paul Legale and Alexei Spirichev. Let's see what's going on. Yes, they're still holding station. Paul in 6th place, having picked up a place from the gravel trap mistake of Johan Haas.
Well, that's your
Happy
advice.
Cheers, Dan.
Cheers, Dan.
Cheers, Dan, thank you.
Should be happy with friends in 3rd place.
He is. That sneaky Thomas Lankin, he's got himself up to 3rd place, and I hadn't even noticed. Well done, Thomas. Unfortunately, he's in a little bit of no man's land. He's got Olivier Lewis about 4 seconds behind, and Dennis Lind about, either the split times are wrong or something happened. No, just Dinhud playing up. For a brief moment there, it looked like Dennis Lind was losing a significant amount of time, but that was just Dinhud. A wonderful Dinhud. It would be so good if it was just that little bit more reliable. Hopefully something will be fixed before the 1.5 release, which I believe is meant to be the final update for Automobilista. Just looking at the track map, there's some great action going further down the field. That's with Steve Kenwood in 13th place. Yeah, let's have a look. Steve in the 86 car. He's got Bart Zoic close behind. Jesus Montesinos in 15th place behind him, followed by Steve Legale. He's a bit significantly further back, unfortunately, with Steve Legale. There's 3 drivers there, Steve, Bart and Jesus, all within a second of each other. Pretty much the closest racing at the moment is Bart Zoic. Closes up under the braking. Bart keeping a very tight line on the exit of that corner. Just questions from X-Zodiac, I think relating to Johan Haas. Yes, Johan got stuck in the gravel trap. The gravel trap's here at Jerez. I hadn't realised, but
Jerez.
Jerez, is it? Okay. Thank you.
Hooray.
Jerez. Okay, thanks,
you,
guys.
yeah.
You've let me say the wrong name for 35 minutes. You're probably all just giggling in the corner going, oh, he doesn't even know how to say it. So Jerez. Jerez is the circuit. Yes, the gravel trap's taking care of Johan Haas, much to the frustration of himself and the viewers, I think, because that was shaping up for a great battle for the lead. But we've got one happening here between Steve Kenwood and Bart. Bart trying to find a way around Steve Kenwood. This is for 13th and 14th place. Steve Kenwood holding on to 13th at the moment. Meanwhile, looking at the track, Matt 5th, 6th and 7th is getting pretty close. That's Johnny Stathworth, Paul Legali and Alexei Spirichev. The split times there showing that Bart closing up on the lap 19 and lap 20. And he is really tucked underneath the wing there of Steve Kenwood. Once again, Bart very, very tight on the exit of that corner. So the slipstream pulls to the inside. That was just a cheeky look to make sure Steve knows he's there. Steve doesn't fall for that that dummy move though. Keeps to the racing line. Nice and tidy through there. Bart still trying to find a way around, hunting for that gap. Stick with this battle, but I am very aware that 5th, 6th and 7th is really closing up. The chicane coming up. Look how close Bart Zoink is to the rear wing of Steve Kenwood. Just 7 minutes on the clock now. Oh, what's happened to Bart? Bart's gone. I didn't even see it. I wasn't even watching. I was looking at the track map and suddenly Bart is gone. He's spun. That's unfortunate. So let's move to that battle then for 5th place. Johnny Stathiros. Let's get to the rear wing of his car. He is holding on to 5th place, rather, not 4th. 5th place at the moment with Paul Legali. Just behind Alexei Spirichev in 7th place. Oh, Paul. Oh, well held, Paul. That car was rising underneath Paul as he got onto the marbles there. Alexei looking to try and capitalise, but Paul looks like he's got that car back together. Still weaving underneath him as he tries to get the power down through the sequence of corners round the chicane. Paul staying off the marbles this time. And he's got a little bit of breathing space over Alexei now. That gap opening up ever so slightly to around 0.8 of a second. A bit of a lock up though for Paul. You can see that four-wheel drift. Oh no, Paul, hold it. Well done, sir. He avoids the wall, keeps it on track. That was unfortunate. You lost the position, but you kept it on track and didn't go into the wall. That was the important thing. Well done.
Great fun.
Some nice bit of drifting and driving. Are you struggling with tyres? Is it tyres at the moment, Paul, or just just pushing as hard as you can? We'll keep at it, sir, because this is a great battle. This is for 6th and 7th, and 5th, 6th and 7th. Johnny getting a little bit of breathing room. He's in 5th as Alexei and Paul battled away. He's opened up a gap about a second, just over a second. Meanwhile, Christopher Vilstad and Theo van der Brink are side by side. That's 9th and 10th, so they go down that start finish straight. Theo's got the inside line in turn 1, and Christopher, he looks to the over and under. He's back side by side. Christopher will have the inside line into the next corner. There's 2 corners side by side. Will they make it 3? They're still going. Theo wants that position. This is for 9th place. A little bit of wheel interlocking there, but both drivers keeping under control. Christopher there on the marbles in the braking zone. Theo still trying to push it around the outside, tucked back into the slipstream. And we have our first follower of the evening. Thank you, Murray666. Oh, that's lovely. We have a cheer for Murray, please. Thank you. Meanwhile, Christopher and Theo are still battling, and this almost every corner they are side by side. Some great driving, very respectful, giving each other the track space to make this action fun, whilst hopefully keeping both guys on the track. But Theo's got the position now, he's in ninth place. Another right-hander, then we'll be heading towards the chicane. Switch to the rear wing of Theo, looking back at Christopher Vilstedt. Great battle this is for 9th and 10th as we head into now the last 4 minutes of the race. Christopher's got that slipstream as they now head round once more to that start-finish line. Yeah, Christopher's got the slipstream, that gap starting to close. Is there enough straight for him to put a move in? He's going to go to the inside. He has a look, he leaves the braking late. Theo knew that was coming. He keeps the line very tight. Great driving there from Theo. A lock up though. Oh, once again they're side by side. Christopher gets the power down, too eager to get that position back. Puts the power down too quickly, lights up the rear end, and Theo manages to hold on to 9th place despite running ever so slightly wide. I think that was turn 2, maybe it was turn 3. Nonetheless, really good action in the midfield of this race. Keeping an eye on, I think it is 5th, 6th and 7th now. That's still Johnny, Alexei and Paul. They're still battling away. But so far Theo and Christopher are giving us such great entertainment with just 2 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock. Christopher dropping back ever so slightly, so we're going to switch to Johnny Stathros. There he is. If we do the fixed camera, we'll try and get a feeling for how far apart they are. So there's Johnny, there's Alexei in the blue car, and the same colour car for Paul Legale. A lot of smoke coming off the tyres as all three of these drivers pushing as hard as they can. 2 minutes on the clock. Alexei taking a slightly defensive line there, an early turn in. That will have allowed Paul to close up as he has done.
Yeah, come on.
Overtake me back before I go. Cheers, mate.
Oh, Alexei winning right. Paul Legale's got the place. Can he hold on to it? The car moving a little bit underneath him, but he gets that position. 6th place now for Paul Legale with just 2 minutes left on the clock. Meanwhile, Christopher Vilstedt and Theo van der Beek have exchanged places once more. Christopher is up to 8th again. Theo back down to 9th. They're not going to give up until that clock hits the 0 and the last lap has been done. Let's move back to the rear wing of Alexei. Paul Legale.
That is a good one.
Oh, Paul pushing as hard as he can, runs a little bit wide. Oh my word, pushing so hard. This is really nice driving to see after 45 minutes, and it might not sound like a lot of time, but 45 minutes wrestling these cars around the circuit, dealing with everything that it throws at you, is no mean feat. To be putting up these sort of lap times, this sort of battling and the closing moments of the race is really good to see. Oh, Paul, no, Paul! Oh, that's such a shame. We get down to the last minute, Paul pushing really hard, but I think that's going to give Alexei Puichev a comfortable 6th place. Let's move back to Christopher and Theo. That gap opened up very slightly. He's holding around a second. Theo will be looking to close that up. Keeping on that track map, 10th and 11th place, that is Jean-Pierre Perre. We're going to move to Jean-Pierre Perre, who's got Johan Haas. Johan looking to get into the top 10, 30 seconds left on the clock. Johan was in the lead when he spun and ended up stuck in the gravel trap, losing some 40 if not 50 seconds trying to dig his way out of there. Such a shame to see, because Johan was looking like him and Craig Patterson were going to have a great battle, but he's got the slipstream of Jean-Pierre Perre. Jean-Pierre will want to hold on to a top finish. There's 10 seconds on the clock. Johan having a little look one side then the other. Jean-Pierre is late on the brakes, a little bit of contact, but it's okay, both drivers keep it on the track. Johan backing off there, knowing that contact will have been his fault, but it was certainly not deliberate. He's wrestling that car around the track. You can see him fighting the steering wheel.
I've started my last lap.
You're on your last lap, are you, Craig?
Yeah, just started.
Thank you for the heads up, sir. So Craig Patterson in the lead. There is 4 to 5 seconds gap between him and Dennis Lind. He's only got one more lap, or this is his lap rather, to do. Johan, you can tell how keen he is to get that top 10 finish. Looking down from the satellite cam, the gap is closing. He's going to get one more lap to have a go at getting past Jean-Pierre Pain. Jean-Pierre Pain is doing a great job, I have to say, of resisting the pressure. Just looking at the split times between Christopher Vilstedt and Theo van der Brink, it has opened up ever so slightly, so great racing from Christopher and Theo, but it looks like in the closing moments Christopher is going to keep hold of 8th place and Theo will have to settle for 9th unless something changes dramatically. Meanwhile, 4th and 5th, I'm going to move to that battle actually, that's Johnny Stathiros and try and get the rear wing camera, there we go. Johnny Stathiros and Alexei Spuchev just 3/10 apart. Olivier Lewis is there, look, Olivier not making a great exit out of that corner. Oh no, Olivier made a mistake. Oh, Johnny Stathiros tried to take the run through there. He was, fortunately, the only person that was collected by that mistake was Olivier ran out of fuel. Olivier, if you're waiting for Johnny, I don't think there was any fault involved there. Not that I saw. Unless he's run out of fuel.
Yes.
Hard to tell. I think Olivier's run out of fuel, but we're going to switch to Craig Patterson. Sorry, Craig, you've won the race. Congratulations. Dennis Lind is across the line as well. Thomas Lankinen we're riding with at the moment.
Thank you.
This is a great battle. This is Bart Zone, Steve Legale, Jesus Sanchez. They come through. That is a great battle as the closing moments. Very, very close indeed. I'm not sure what happened to Olivier. I think Olivier ran out of fuel and Johnny, I think, just got collected with that. I think that's what happened. Johnny, is that the sense that you got from that, sir, if you're there on TeamSpeak?
Yeah, I think he ran out of fuel.
Yeah, and I think just the sudden change of speeds, I saw you trying to take avoiding action and it's such a shame to see you disappear off to the gravel trap, but nonetheless, a great race.
In the middle of the track.
I thought he would accelerate again. Maybe he did a mistake, but...
Anybody else still racing on the run up to the chicane? Someone's still stuck in the middle of the track.
I think that's Olivier Lewis, could do with a push maybe. If there's anybody out there could do Olivier Lewis. Let's get Olivier Lewis across that line. Yes, there he is, he's out of fuel, guys. Anybody willing to give Olivier Lewis a push? Anybody out there? Still to go round.
Dennis, he can do it. He's
Go on, Dennis Lind. Olivier Lewis is the corner before the chicane, Dennis, if you can get round there before the server rolls over.
Yellow flag.
And give
Did you need to do that, Johan, at the end? You lost a position there.
Oh, Olivier Lewis has DNF'd. Anyway, let's get back to the standings, go through the final orders. Craig Patterson wins it. Congratulations, Craig, just 5 seconds ahead of Dennis Lind. Well done, Craig. Well done, Dennis. Thomas Lankinen. Oh, Thomas, my favourite. He's there in 3rd place, a podium finish for Thomas. Well done, Thomas. Alexei Spuchev in 4th place. Paul Legale in 5th. Johnny Stathiros 6th. Christopher Vilstedt in 7th, having a great battle at the end there with Theo van der Brink, who brings home 8th. Jean-Pierre Pain in 9th. Steve Kenwood 10th. Johan Half in 11th. Matt Legale 12th, Olivier Lewis in 13th, Jesus Montesinos in 14th, Steve Legale in 15th, Bart Zone 16th, Jesus Sanchez in 17th, Gasper Grabank in 18th. He's our first of our DNFs, followed by Manos in 19th, and the server has rolled over. Guys, the battling at the end there was really something special. Several groups of drivers. Theo, help me out with names, I've forgotten them already, but Theo and Christopher, of course, thank you, Christopher, having great battles there. Johnny, you were involved in some there with Olivier. Oh, some great stuff. I hope that was good. I hope you enjoyed it, guys.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Oh yeah, that was
great.
Yeah, it was very good fun.
Yeah, alright.
Well,
you run away.
I wasn't aware of this track.
Congrats, guys.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you
Cheers,
for
gents.
joining racing tonight.
Catastrophe! Benzine!
I guess. We're going to have to wrap the stream up. Well, thank you very much, guys. Can we say goodbye to our 20 million viewers?
I go in my 46, 40.